Alright, horrendously windy, so I might have to yell or something, so this probably won't work, but anyway, out and about. I do like talking while walking, so I'm going to do it, yeah, even if not entirely appropriate, because it's a minor crime. Yes, it's a minor crime against reason. You know, the idea is to fight the bigger crimes against reason, which, like the anti-controvods. Anyway, so that was sort of a subject I wanted to sort of get to, was the modern mystic, indirectly, just opposed against the menace of anti-controvad. They're both nihilist cunts in a way. You know, they think they can separate themselves from the circumstance that we're in, just put up their hands and run away, in a sense, and say, I will be neither slave nor master, I will be neither borrower or lender, and that in itself is not a horrid thing. But Anti-Controvad obviously has declared his master a label, you know, by perpetuating. It's a crime the mystic wouldn't commit, not unless you give him a big pile of gold or something. You know, he could be bribed by reason, but not bribed by avarice, where Anti-Controvad proves himself, you know, the hypocrite, by being quite bribable by his personal avarice, which is part of the crime, part of the thing he is supposed to be enlightened himself to be separate from, his ownership by such petty egoic nonsense and rubbish, and the very mechanism through which masters and slaves are created. It is the first act of enslavement. Wow, yeah, I guess the video's over. That pretty much says it, doesn't it? Yeah, so anyway, you know, he's just a fraud. He talks as if he has, you know, liberated himself to the sandy beaches, you know, and then he starts building, instead of sand castles, colonial houses, you know, out of wood on the beach. You know, just totally a fraud in terms of his escaping the caves, escaping the narrow confinement of the cockroach's life. You know, lay some eggs. Yeah, that's the definition of liberation. Funny. Hilarious is what that is. Hilarious hypocrisy and duplicity. So anyway, so he's also asked these questions as if, you know, he always asks questions but never deals with answers, which is also hilarious. Just part of the cheater's rhetoric. Look, I'm asking these really tough questions, and they'll get 7 million answers because it's an easy question. And pay no attention. Oh, they were really tough questions, weren't they? Wow, I'm really smart. No, you're really an asshole. Anyway, so he's first says it's a big challenge for us to define our enemy when it comes to the religious kook and their God delusion. That somehow we have to individually scratch each nutter, you know, to find out the exact character of their God. And no, we don't. All I have to do is say, if you believe in something outside of crude forces, material forces, replicating molecule, evolution, and eventual doom, if you do not believe that is the story, completely enough, there's something else. If you believe there's something else, yes, you're a religious nutter. Period. There, I'm done with the God theory. Anything else is delusional mush. And this religion is God, is crap, is shit. You don't care what you call your God, it's God. Okay, if you have contrived something besides crude forces, a replicating molecule, evolution, and eventual doom. You are living in a fake reality. Alright, now he challenges us on the subject of will and says, well, what is this free will? Well, first off, it's not a word I invented. It's not a combination of words I invented. It's something that crazy people have talked about. It's part of the Borgology in maintaining the idiocy of jackasses like you doing whatever, sand angels in your liberated beach sand. Yeah, something idiots like you do. It's a fucking sand angel. Alright, that's what free will is. It's a lie that has been told to little children forever. As if they're supposed to understand. They're supposed to see their desires as some manifestation of this freedom to will. Yeah, right. And because we have to lie to them. We have to deny evolution, deny that, yes, you know, little Joey when he's growing up, or Jimmy, or Bobby, instead of telling him, yes, you have a penis that will make you desire to do all kinds of fucking things. You won't will to do these things, you won't want to do these things, but you will have a desire to do them, and they will overflow you. And you will start doing crazy things like combing your hair and, you know, buying chocolates, and then you'll start bribing people, yes, to stick your willy in things. And that's what your life will become. You know, instead of telling the truth, you make up some crap about, oh, you're this will monster. Yes, you're the will master. And you're going to go through life, you know, brilliantly inspired by the inspiration of the inspirationals. Yeah, what a crock of shit. Yes, so will is just desire. So then we can just cut it to, I mean, it's just desires, okay? Whatever you do because you have a desire to do it. In the end, if there's something you do on purpose, like I walk down this path, well, I'm doing it because I have desires consistent with this behavior, in the sense that I have obligations I wish to satisfy, so people will pat me on the head and say, good Gary, rather than smack me in the head and say, fuck you, die. So yes, I do things. I will do them to satisfy conditions that are obvious. Yeah, I really don't need to explain why it's preferable not to be dunked in a vat of acid. Yes. So anyway, so will is just desires. The desires that are the most urgent, the most necessary, the most rationally understood to be priorities. They get the attention, the end, not complicated. So this idea of a free desire, what would it look like? What would a free desire look like? Yeah, guess what? Yeah, it wouldn't look like anything, because it couldn't exist. All desires come from something. They're caused by something. There's a circumstance that necessitates it, and usually a circumstance that's just based on one simple question. Me versus them. Yeah, most of the time people's me desire is stronger than their them desire. Just as your little cunt brain decided me feeling all big about myself because I have procreated seemed to be the bigger desire than your desire not to hideously deform and cause massive damage to and pain and suffering to a little creature called whatever, Baby Stein. Yeah, that's all there is. You know, and so you had this choice, and you had in your own brain some sort of I'm on Free Man Beach, but you didn't make a free decision, did you? No, you were compelled by the stronger desire. Because you're a cheese fucking eater, for fuck's sake. You haven't taken step one to controlling what Buddha defined as the bigger of the monsters facing the human psychology, which is your avarice, your desire. Yeah, not under control at all. Where in the mystic's case, yes, we have control. We have a well-planned and thoughtful vacation from reality, separation from reality, let's call it. I don't know if exactly he's vacationing, but he has torn himself from it. Maybe for some practical cause, like I'll go crazy if I don't. Maybe it's just that simple. I cannot bear, the burden of the janitorial duties, mandated by, going to war even. He's basically just evading the draft kind of thing, saying futility is written all over this project. Defeat and pain is written all over it. So I shall not avail myself of the opportunity to participate, yes, in the grand enlightenment. I will just go sideways, thank you very much, and hide somewhere over there behind that little fluffy bush. But again, harmless at least, right? Benign. A benign disease, to necessity, versus the malignant disease that is the anticontavad, the cancer, the brain cancer, of self-interest, self-motivation, self-obsession. These are all fucking easily dissectable traps of the unenlightened. These are the things that keep the slaves enslaved. And he obviously is mimicking identically the slaves' behavior. Give them power and they become masters. Take away their power, they acclimate to slavery. How is he not like those mechanisms? How is he not one of them? Clearly he would rationalize existence as either. Because that's all he does, is rationalize. Because all he does is glorify his existence. He has not separated himself from it. He is in fact bronzing it, attempting to somehow make it permanent. To give his color permanence. And it's, again, this is stuff Koran and even Nietzsche on some of his more enlightened or coherent days understood these traps. In the end, like I said, he just did bail in terms of just disconnecting from reality rather than dealing with it. But, like I said, I'm not going to do Nietzsche commentary forever. There's no real point. I mean, it's clearly if any enlightened person looks with any scrutiny, they can see that he took just about the easiest road possible. I will critique and condemn all but myself. I will provide no plan. I will be as vacuous as the Buddha, in terms of offering you understanding. So that's the kind of thing that would hit me in the head today. Yes, the wind is bad. He is clueless in response to his commentary, and clueless is the same as useless. No point in making commentary if you cannot offer the solution. Yes, the reclamation, the correction for the flaw you wish to point at and penny over. No point at all. And so, but this is just cliche failures, not cliche victory. So, yeah, so there's a commentary. Yeah, but I obviously am offering the alternative perspective, which is, physician, heal thyself. Yeah, first, do no harm. Be neither borrower or lender or debtor or whatever, and be not slave nor master. Don't make any more mess. If you can't handle the broom, just don't throw litter. Not that complicated. You're too much of a pussy to fight for the cure, to be a good little soldier. Well, at least don't make more war. Yeah, not complicated. You know, don't build tanks for the enemy. You know, and that's all Anticontavat is advocating. He feeds the war. He does gross insult to Nietzsche's commentary. And certainly is an insult to have Quran mocked by this hypocrite and duplicitous lying fucking scum. Yeah. So anyway, not that the Quran wasn't a fucking asshole, but he wasn't a big enough asshole to deserve, you know, being totally perverted by anticontavatism. Yeah. So anyway, mushy here. So enough. Off to work I go. Minor work, actually. Hopefully. I do seem to sometimes find, you know, extra projects. But anyway, we'll see. So, we'll see if this is a video. I'll post it no matter what, I suppose, unless it's really, 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 really obnoxious. I did band-aid the microphone, so it should be more tolerable. Litter. Yard litter. Good little soldier I am. Anyway, till next time. Back again. Yeah, there was no wind for a minute, so I thought it was okay, but not really. Anyway, let's just say more some free will thought popped in my head. In a way of looking at it, is that the free will would be the will distracted not by desire, you know, not by an interest of the self per se. It would be something free of your personal interest. Free will would be an agenda, just logically perceived. And then you get back to, like, if you had a free universe, you know, universe unbound by a contrived or pre-existing desire, i.e., the DNA molecule's agenda, would there be any agenda? Would there be any such thing as a let's make a problem so we can solve a problem? Would there be any will, need, desire to manifest desire? Doesn't seem so. Doesn't seem much point in creating the necessity of a problem. You know, I mean, by its very nature, you can't really think of a necessary problem. Let's make a necessary mess, you know, so we can contrive the fun of laughing at it. Yeah, which most of these people seem to do. So anyway, y'all are very quite dismal and horrible and awful. And, so, but yeah, so just